Alright, YouTube, jgreen302. Let's demystify solar. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you everything you need to know and leave you going, damn, it was that simple? Yeah. Here you see it. 4 15-watt, 12-volt solar panels. PVC frame, kickstands. Real complicated stuff, isn't it? Here you see the cables. One for each panel. Follow the cables. 4 cables go into a 4-to-1. Go into 1. Want to see how complicated this is? Look at that. 12 volts positive, red, and a ground. Okay. 1 cable going into the system. Real complicated. So some of you are probably sitting there going, dude, you're pulling my leg. See this? There's a big boy solar panel. This is something y'all are probably used to seeing. Let's look. Oh, is that positive, negative? Is that just 2 cables? Yep, same stuff. Okay, so there's your quick, simple panels. Follow the cable. Here it is, just 1. Let's go ahead and take a look at the guts. Alright, folks. So, there you go. Hey, Bear. See the cable coming in? See the cable coming in? Let's take a look. This is a watts up meter. All it is a DC inline, and I'm using this to collect data on what those panels are doing. What it's telling me right now is I've got 0.88 amps and about 11.2, 11.3 watts of power being generated. It's cloudy. And this is just so I can understand it. I can take this completely out and just carry the line straight on down to here. This is a charge controller. 12.5 amps or 12.5 volts is basically what is in the battery bank. Power comes into this side. It says solar. And then you take the battery side, run it out, and it's actually connected to the negative here, positive here. So all this power here comes in and charges these batteries. Real complicated, isn't it? From these batteries, off of this post here, oh, is that 12 volts positive and a negative? Real complicated, isn't it? And our 12.5, 12.5. And then I plug stuff in and it works. Folks, let me back up. Take a look. These are some basement steps. Top 2 batteries are just sitting there because those are the ones that I started with. They're just car batteries. These are 3 deep cycle marine batteries. They cost 80 bucks a piece. Simple setup. Pretty uncomplicated, isn't it? You will note that these lights are on. So let's talk about this. A couple people have asked me about, you should go 24 volts, you should be looking at golf cart batteries, etc., etc., etc. Okay. My system is purpose built for 3 things. 1, I want to be able to use it every day. If I'm going to invest the money, I want to get something out of it every day. 2, I want something that is going to get me through storms and power outages. Here you go. 3, if the shit hits the fan, I want to take the sunlight, store electric, and be able to use it, because candles suck in comparison to a light bulb. couple points that were made. Why don't you run 12 volt DC bolts or 12 volt DC bulbs? Well, one, they're expensive. Two, DC does not transmit far. You just can't transmit very far with DC. AC, you can shoot across the country. What do you see? An extension cord. With AC, I can take a 100-foot extension cord, run this to the back side of the house, or the front side, however you want to look at it, and then I can turn one of these on. And I'm not eating a lot. And that makes life, that gives me flexibility. When these bulbs are 10 bucks a pop, hey, it certainly beats the 12 volt equipment that's a lot more expensive. So there's a couple of thoughts. Notice the batteries are just standard generic Walmart batteries. And if you stop and look, I can fold that panel up, stick it in the truck, grab the cables, throw it in the truck, put 3 batteries, throw it in the truck, grab these 2 devices, throw it in the truck, throw some extension cords in, and I can bug out, and guess what I'm taking with me? I'll make sure I take some of those bulbs and a couple of lamps, but if nothing else, I'm going to have electric, so I can use this every day, get my money back. I can have free power, get my money back. I can have the convenience of handling a storm without a noisy generator. I can get value out of this, and look how simple this is. These are wired in series, positive to positive to positive, negative to negative to negative. Because I use crossed posts, it treats it as one big battery. This power inverter is a bit expensive. This power inverter is a pure sine wave 1000-watt power inverter. 1000 watts, and the calculation is simple. It's watts equals amps times voltage. 120 volts, 1000 watts makes this an 8 amp circuit. It's that simple. There's nothing to it. Options here are modified sine and the stuff that you find just about everywhere. This is something that you would put in your car and plug in by a cigarette lighter and recharge your laptop while you're driving down the road. This is dirty power. I refer to this as the spam of food. Modified sine tries to clean the power up, but it doesn't get you clean power. It's like a midpoint. So this would be chicken. This is utility power grade, just like what you plug into your house. Cheap, more expensive, really expensive. I'm sticking here because this can do everything this can do and this can do. This can't do this or this. This can't do this. For running something like this, this will work. If you want to run a power saw, the power cleanliness may not be important. If you want to run a PlayStation or a TV or anything with sensitive electronics and power that doesn't have a battery in front of it, and you don't want to tear it up, I think I'll spend my money to protect things, because this can always do what these do. This will do everything, and it no longer presents a question. That's my theory on that. So, what are the thoughts here? If you notice, there's nothing to this. It's a red wire, 12 volts. It's a black wire, ground. It's a basic 12 volt battery system. It's all standard. And this battery bank I've had here for a week. Our weather has given me 7 days of direct sun, or 7 hours of direct sunlight. 7 hours. This cable runs out to my desk and powers lights and things out there. And if you follow, This cord here runs the TV and all the AV stuff out there. These batteries have been running these lights for close to a week. It's ran the HD 42-inch HD TV and the cable box and all that other stuff for about 5 hours. It's still working. The panels aren't really doing me much because it's cloudy. Yet it still works, and it works every day. I start my day at 8 in the morning and I turn this stuff on, and it doesn't get turned off until at least midnight. Yet it's still running. So when doing this, I've sized this capacity wise based on wanting to run these, to recharge batteries, and to have enough bump that if I want to, I can run a microwave for a minute or two, or I can turn the TV on for a little bit, or I can run a scanner. The goal is not to drive my entire house off of batteries. More to the point, my goal is to make these batteries run lights and the basic stuff potentially for a week or two without sunlight. If I get sunlight, even better. It's winter right now. This is the most limited sunlight period possible. So these are the worst conditions, and I'm making this work. So if the power's out for, say, 3 months, not only can I run through a period of a week with poor sunlight and still have lights, once the sun starts shining, these recharge. It continues to provide lights. I'm always going to have power because I have 3 batteries. That's what it boils down to. I have 3 batteries and some crappy panels out there, and that's it. As long as you have one of these, and a panel, all this stuff can now do this. At 2.5 watts and 5 watts, remember, I got 1,000 watts. Imagine how many lights I can run. And if I only run a few lights, I only need 4 max in a house to function. That means these batteries are going to run the system for a very long time. You don't want to discharge these batteries until they're completely dead. That's how you wipe out batteries. The rule is you never discharge more than 50%. If you change that rule to, say, 70%, the batteries last a lot longer. So here's my last point on all this. $230, 80, 80, 80, 30, plus the cost of the panels, plus the cost of some bulbs. Okay, dude, that's a lot of money. You see this? 10 years from now, it's still going to work. Because I understand how to not discharge my system, these batteries will be here and working 10 years from now. These bulbs are rated for 25 years. So all this gear, the first solar panel ever made, still works. So unless somebody does something really dumb, you know, a lawnmower destroys the panel or whatever, all this gear is going to be here 10 years later. So it's not like I'm going to lose my money. Yet every day, this is a power plant. It may not be a big power plant, but it's an 8-amp circuit power plant. You feeling me? There you go. One last look. Yeah, it's that ridiculously simple. Isn't it great? Thanks for listening.